guys, Mary from SVG Cuts here, and I'm getting pretty excited about all this fun patriotic 4th of July stuff for summer, because it's really fun to decorate your house and your life kind of for summer with some fun red, white, and blue decorations if you live in the United States, of course. And it's really summery looking, and the fun part is there's no such thing as too much. You can really go all out with all kinds of glitter and bling and ribbon and everything. So it's pretty fun to work on these patriotic projects, and the coolest part is probably this really cool little lantern. And the cool thing is you can make it no matter what mat size you have, even if you're working with a pretty small mat size. So it just takes 6 pieces of clear plastic, and I think the easiest place to get the clear plastic is at the office supply store. I just like to go pick up a big thing of page protectors. And the one that I got was a couple bucks, and it's probably going to last me like the rest of my life. So I just cut up little pieces of it to use here and there in projects like this. So the cool thing about putting a cute little candle in there is obviously you're not going to use a real candle. You're going to use a electronic LED tea light candle. And these are the most readily available at the craft store. I've seen these the most. But I also got one like this, which is pretty cool, at this cute little store nearby our house. So if you see those while you're out, that also looks really cute in there. So there's just a little switch on the bottom, turn it on, turn it off, and super cool. So this cute little invitation actually makes me want to plan a 4th of July party. I'm like really thinking about it now because it's so cute. And I think that in today's day and age of email and Facebook, sometimes you don't really feel like taking the time to send a real invitation, but I think that when you actually receive a real invitation in the mail, I think you're more likely to make a commitment to like making it to the party. So it's a good way to actually get people to show up for your party and like make it cute and fun and all that. So super cute, pretty easy to put together. It's all flat stuff. And then this little insert in here is just a 3.5 by 5 piece of paper that you can print with your party details. And just use whatever kind of word processing software you're the most comfortable with, probably Microsoft Word or whatever, so super cute. So next we've got 2 cute little containers here. My favorite is this little flat star-shaped box, and I had a lot of fun just wrapping a lot of twine around it, so you could get some little chocolates in there for someone special during this time of year. You know, your neighbor, maybe they helped you in your yard or something, you want to say thank you, or really just anything. So it kind of brightens up your life a little bit to get something super cute like that. So that is fun. And then we've also got a larger container here, which you could really do whatever you feel like with. It could even just be a decoration, but of course the top comes off and you can put whatever you want inside. So super cool. And then finally we have our 12 by 12 scrapbook page. And I've been making a lot of these lately to go with each of our kits. So if you've been keeping up with me, you're gonna have like a whole entire scrapbook like stuffed full of like really awesome scrapbook pages that are super easy to put together, because all you do is choose your paper, put it in your cutting machine, and it does all the work, and you have all the fun of putting it together and choosing the colors and everything. So the cool thing about this is that you can let your machine do the cutting of your pictures also. So you've got your photo templates here, which are numbered so that it's easy. It's all in the instructions in your download, but I have a separate video. If you want to click over here, I have a separate video that shows how to specifically use these photo templates with your photo to make your machine cut them out exactly where you want them to. So it's real easy to just go online and upload some pictures to your local like 1-hour photo place, and then you go and pick them up. And for this one, for example, this oval shaped picture here, all I did was take this 5 by 7 and I just used this one, and you just place it exactly where you want it. And then as you can see in the how-to video, you can really get it real specific and then let your machine cut it out. Super cool. Love it, love it, love it. So finally we have our paper here that I used, which is awesome. As soon as I saw it, I had to get it for summertime. So it's actually by Authentique, and it's called the Glory Collection. And I got mine at 2peasinabucket.com. And I also have seen Authentique before at Archivers. So check it out, and maybe there's some other patriotic paper out there that I haven't seen. I haven't been to Michael's in a while, so spec that out and have fun putting these together. So I've got all my pieces cut out to show you how the three-dimensional things go together, so let's get started. So first let's start with our cute little star box. And I'm not going to open it up because I have it all wrapped up like this, but the top and the bottom are basically the same. So I'm just going to show you the lid, the top. So for that we've got 2 zigzag pieces and then 2 stars. And one star is a little smaller, that's going to be the liner that covers it up at the end on the inside. So set the smaller one aside for now. And first you want to score all these folds so that they are ready to be glued in place. And the way that you can tell which way to fold it is where there's a large V, that is going to be a point of the star. And where there's a small V, that's going to not be a point. So fold it back and forth like this. And when you've got both of them folded, you can go ahead and glue one to the other by putting some glue on this end tab here. And just putting the other side of the other one in place. Doesn't matter which one you do first. So now just do the same thing on the other side. So just put glue on this other tab here and just put that in place. So now all you're going to do is you can start to see the star take shape. So you're just going to put a thin layer of glue on all of these tabs, but go one at a time. And one at a time, just glue them to your star and make your way around. And then once they're all glued in place, you're just going to flip it over and glue this on the inside to finish it off. So next, let's take a look at our firecracker cylinder-shaped container. And the bottom and the top are essentially the same, but obviously the bottom's a lot taller. So I'm just going to show you the top of it. And we've got this long piece here, 2 circles, one with a little triangle cut out, and then we've got our little wick thing here, which we're going to fold along the fold lines. And we can go ahead and glue that together by putting a tiny little line of glue and closing that up. So we'll just set this aside and let that dry a little bit. Now I'm just going to put a thin, even layer of glue on the end tab of this long piece here. And I'm just going to fold that around and just hold that in place while it dries. So while I'm holding it, as it's drying, I can go ahead and fold down all these tabs all the way around. And then I'm just going to put a nice thin layer of glue, a nice thin line all the way around the edge. And then I'm also going to go back and put a dot on each of these, which you can take your time more than me. I just want you to get the idea. And then take the circle with the triangle and put that in place. So I'm just going to go around and line up the edges as it's drying here. And I'm just scooching it around a little bit if it's not lined up perfectly, and flip it over and just push down those tabs from the inside. So now this is going to go inside, but first we want to put our little wick in there. And I've got these long pieces here which get kind of curled out, and then we're going to stick the other end into the hole, and then those little tabs are just going to get folded down and glued down from the inside. So just squeeze those a little bit till they dry or start to stick. And then you can put some glue in there and go ahead and put your liner piece inside. So finally, for our lantern here, I'm going to take a piece of clear plastic, which is actually a page protector from the office supply store, and in your PDF it says the exact dimensions that all 6 of these clear plastic rectangles should be for the windows. In your extras folder for the lantern, there's also this piece you can cut out, which is the size that these should be, because the cutting machine just doesn't cut this clear plastic very well, and even my paper trimmer doesn't cut it very well, so I really have to use scissors for this stuff. So I'm using this little template to make it easy for myself to cut that out. So I've got 1, I'm going to cut 5 more out because you want 6 altogether. So now here are all the pieces for my lantern, and there are 6 sides to it, so we've got 6 main pieces, and a lot of them are, 3 of them are exactly the same, but then 3 of them are special to account for the little door that we have here. So we've got this one here that has the door on it, and obviously the door kind of latches onto this one. And then to fill in the spaces between the 2 of them, we have this piece and this little piece here. So the first thing that you want to do is flip over all of your pieces and glue your clear plastic on the inside. So to do that, you don't want to get too thick of a line of glue, otherwise it's going to squirt out the side and you're going to see it on your clear plastic. So go ahead and put your plastic in place and give it a second to dry. Mine is a little messy actually, so you can be more careful than me even. And then we've got 6 of these little frames, which is going to go on the inside to cover up the glue and everything. Because when you're looking at your lantern, you can see the inside really clearly, so we don't want the inside to look all funky. So just put a nice little thin line again, and then you can go ahead and put your little frame in place. And you just want to make sure that you're doing your best to line it up so that it's completely on the inside. Okay, so go ahead and flip over all your pieces and do that to all of them. I'm just going to pretend like I did that, and we're going to move on here. So basically what we're going to do is really pick any of them, and we're going to start by gluing one side obviously to the other, and I'm just going to go 1 tab at a time. I'm going to put glue on all of them, but I'm going to hold them in place while they dry 1 at a time. And before you start doing this, if you want to go ahead and put your decorative panels on top here where the stars go, you can go ahead and do that now while they're flat, so it's a little easier to put those in place. But if you want to wait till the end, that's not the end of the world either. I'm just talking about this decorative pattern that's here, so you can add that. But I'm just going to skip that for now because it's not difficult to figure out. So I'm just holding each one until it gets a nice little hold going. So just work your way down the lantern and make sure it's lined up as nicely as possible. And there you go. So you're really just going to work your way around, being sure that these different pieces line up the way that I showed you earlier. So go ahead and do the same thing on this side and just go all the way around until you get to the end where you're just going to finish up the seam at the end. So now I've only got 2 pieces glued together here, so there's only 1, 2. But you're going to go ahead and work your way all the way around until you've got the body of the lantern with 6 sides. And then you're going to put glue on these tabs all the way around on all 6. and set it upside down. And then you're just going to take your larger shape here and you're just going to glue that onto those tabs. Then when that's dry, you can flip it over and you can put glue on the bottom of your smaller shape here and just stick that inside to cover up the tabs and make it look nice and finished off. Then the only thing left to do is do the same thing on the top. You're just going to put glue on these tabs here, which are these two guys. There's going to be 6 of them going all the way around, and then just put your little tiny shape on top there. So we've got this cute little wire handle here, and I just picked up this cool red wire at Michael's, and I threw away the packaging so I don't remember what gauge it is, but as long as it's not too thin, just something kind of medium gauge is fine. So take a segment of it that's maybe about 8 or 7 inches long, because this is shorter than that, but you want to have some room to push it through and tie it or like bend it in a little knot shape so that it gets stuck from the inside. And the way that I poked my hole in the lantern was I have this tool by We Are Memory Keepers, and it has a sharp point for poking a hole before you put a brad in something, and then you can use this end to flatten the brad out. But I just wanted something nice and sharp, like a big needle or a big pin would also work. So I just poked a hole here between these pieces on this side, and then I did the same thing on the exact opposite side, and I just fed my wire through there, and like I said, I just twisted it into a little shape before I pulled it through, and it's nice and stuck in there. So that's a cute way to finish off your lantern if you want, optional. And I just thought it was cute to tie a couple little pieces of ribbon on there too. So have fun with that. So that's it, super fun patriotic projects for summer. I hope you're as excited about them as I am. And if you make any of these, I would love to see them on our Facebook wall or in our forum. So thanks for watching, I'll catch you next time, and happy crafting!
Learn more by visiting www.svgcuts.com. Don't forget to like us on Facebook and watch all of our crafty videos on YouTube. It's a world of crafty content with you in the middle. SVGcuts.com, inspiring you to live creatively and beautifully.